Bring them back, sir.
Now I'm across the river, so I can attack more easily from here.
Commands. Yes, sir.
So I think I'm ready for another general assault. Maybe soon.
Let's go. Let them have it.
And they immediately come in to reinforce, which is lovely. And we're about to get another pocket up here. St. Louis is about to get knocked out. How are we doing for recruitment? Yeah, see, we're actually building up deficits, which is not good. Although a lot more American Union states are dying than we are. Now what are we building? Ah, we should be building factories again. Here, here, here. Reactivate the Army War College. Done. So let's get the rebel girl, get the extra manpower, women power. As the war wears on, we find young women in small numbers attracted to the uniform, wearing it, we mean. By allowing them to serve on the front lines, we can show our commitment to the equality and progress of women in New America.
Let them have it.
And I also want to select you lot.
All in. Ready.
There we go. Let's go and crush them. That is in the pocket. It's a salient the size of a frickin' state. Fighting over the Great Plains is easy when you've got motorized. Right. We might be getting to the point where we can actually start adding light tanks to the motorized divisions. And that's just going to be increasing the amount of damage that they can do. How much does that cost? Yep, we're there. Do it.
Ready to move. Yes, sir.
I like how their order is just backwards.
Come on, move out.
Get rid of that one. Doesn't really serve any purposes anymore.
All in.
Although I think I am going to say I want to see this in our hands.
Let's go. Move out. Move out.
It's the first chance that I'm really having a chance to play with the new Field Marshal line. The line where they just merge all of these together instead of the subunits, and it works so much better. Takes a little more setting up. And I wish this was the default behavior rather than the alternative behavior, seeing as you have to press shift when you're doing all the when you're setting up the line rather than just drawing a line as the Field Marshal selected. It makes a hell of a difference. And the fact that you can still have the sub-armies, like I've got the Reds, operational under the Field Marshal, which I didn't think was possible, just makes it so much better. In fact, these motorized are getting a decent amount of experience from all of this. The Canadian Commonwealth have declared war on the Union of Britain. And so it begins. So I wonder, when is the deal with the devil going to happen? Yeah, Missouri is not as easy. This bit was easy. This bit, not as much. Although I seem to have found a nice flat bit through here. Oh. We didn't just have minus 11 tanks, did we? Liars. Oh, because of these units. Yeah, okay, fair. Kingdom of Ukraine declared war on the Kingdom of Ukraine. So I guess that's the Ukrainian Civil War. Though I do find it kind of hilarious where it's the Kingdom of Ukraine versus the Kingdom of Ukraine. Oh no, it's the Socialist Republic of Ukraine. Man, Europe is a mess. I have a feeling that the Internationale is going to win just because they're the most unified. The Reichspakt is having an absolute horror of a time.
Ready, sir.
There's one of the cavalry units.
Keep moving.
Everyone in this army is actually getting a decent amount of experience. It's quite nice to see. Oh right, and we got the upgrade to our general skills. So Maurice Rose is now a 5177. That's like the perfect set of stats for fighting in Africa. 7 logistics? Yes please. Especially if we can make him into an armor division commander. Cavalry leader, 334. Panzer leader hasn't begun. I'd quite like to get artillery specialist as well, but that one's not nearly as important.
Ready to move.
I just drove across it, definitely better than Kansas. Any other exit, there was a billboard for a sex shop. Okay. What state is Far Cry 5 based in? Is that Missouri? No, that's Montana. Which is... here. That's Wyoming. There. Oh, so close!
Yes, sir.
I only know that because I've been to Montana. And I know it's right next to the Rockies. Because it's when you go from Montana into Colorado, the terrain just goes voomp. Rockies. And I mean, it's like pretty much completely flat, and then suddenly mountain. You can definitely see where the continental fault lines are. You're saying that there is a motorized ready to be assigned. I'm going to say, all right then.
Ready, sir.
French Republic have declared war on Tarak. Wadi has declared war on the French Republic, and Tarab al-Baidan have declared war on the French Republic. Looks like the French Republic's having a few issues. Order has been restored in Virginia. Jolly good.
Orders.
Was it? No, it's not Montana into Colorado. Idaho. No, I haven't been to Idaho. Where the hell's Colorado? There. It was Wyoming. Same thing, though. It's the Great Plains into mountains. Same story. But I have been to Montana, I know that much. The Rebel Girl, done. Dominionist victory in South Africa. After a contentious election which divided the Union of South Africa in two, the Dominion Party, led by General Jan Christian Smuts, has declared victory, although with the slimmest of majorities in the country's parliament. Voting in South Africa is restricted mainly to the whites, but between the Afrikaners in the north and the British in the south. With the British vehemently supporting Smuts, they're able to achieve victory. The Hard Wallbreaker, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Montana has a little bit on the Rockies. Yeah, I could have sworn it was Montana. But it wasn't into Idaho. I've not been... I've been to Idaho, but I haven't been to Idaho. Like, I've been across Idaho. And I was probably asleep. Because I've gone from Chicago to Seattle by bus. 50... It's either 52 hours or 56 hours. I can never remember. I think it was 56. That was a long bus ride.
Ready to move.
Yeah, Greyhound. It was cheap, and we were too young to get rental cars because we timed this really badly. We went to America, did like a massive 7-week tour of the United States when we were 20. So the number of places where we couldn't get served are countless. Which is also why when we got to Vancouver in Canada, we basically went straight to the tourist information, pulled out a map and like, pubs. We need the pubs, where are they? Coming to France declared war in the Netherlands. A way to open up a bigger front. Ah, the L3. Excellent. So, I'm going to get you, but first of all, we're going to upgrade this. How fast are you ordinarily? Okay, you're actually as quick as the motorized. Is 38. 38! That means I can get these. And a new focus. Red Dragon gives all of our artillery 20% more attack against forts. Or we can remove the Red Guard militia penalties. The Red Guard militia forces have done well to take us this far, but their irregular numbers, often simply based on however many willing men can be found in a given town, hamper their ability in the field. By creating a standard unit size and redistributing troops from one unit to from unit to unit in order to meet it... Huh? By creating a standard unit size and redistributing troops from unit to unit in order to meet it, as in it, the standard unit size, we can enforce some uniformity in our ranks. To be fair, you can pay a massive premium on car rental insurance until you're 25. I don't think that was the case at the time. Because I think we did look into it, but also Greyhound was just so much cheaper. Alright, you guys have done good. Now where do I want to go? Do I want to give going for Florida another go? I think I do. I did not mean that to be a spearhead. I'm okay with it though. Missouri, 4 more, jolly good. We can get the push on the longest front again. I think that's probably a good idea. Seeing as that's where the battle is going. The Netherlands has joined the Reichspakt, did not see that coming. And we're down to a 9,000 deficit. We have 1,800 motorized now. In which case, I think we need to switch up our production a little bit and say less of those, more of those. Although, we could just add a couple more divisions. Increases the gun deficit, but we are making more guns now. I spend 2 times 20 hours on trains in Sweden each year. Those guys have lovely public transport. If the train from the airport in Stockholm, whose name I've already forgotten, Arlandia to Stockholm is any indication, yes. Unfortunately, the trains in Britain are freaking awful. Having seen, like, German ones and Dutch ones and Swedish ones in comparison, it's like, what are you doing, Britain? And then the price. It's cheaper to fly to Scotland than it is to take a train to Scotland. What? Do I have any tips for new Hearts of Iron players? I have a YouTube channel, as Sindrin is saying, with loads and loads of Hearts of Iron 4. If you're a really new player, then I would recommend checking that. My other recommendation would be learn to play Hearts of Iron playing as Italy. Italy is a really good starting nation. What's the advantage of having 2 lines of gun production? There is no advantage. That's just the old school version of me in this game showing through. When I started playing Hearts of Iron, you couldn't do this. The RDP take power in Bulgaria following the overwhelming loss in the Balkan War. Bulgaria never wins that thing. It's cheaper to fly from Edinburgh to London via freaking Barcelona than taking the train. Yep. Trains in the UK. Also, how not to privatise your trains 101. Yeah. Ooh, another airbase. Cool. Speaking of which, we should probably check our air power. At the moment, actually fairly acceptable. Though the Midwest isn't going to have a lot going on. We could do with some air power in the deep south. Probably the Appalachian. So once we've taken that airbase, we can move them from the Appalachians into the deep south. Where are my trucks? They're over here, right. Let you get some planning preparation, and then we'll go. Yeah, you do the 5x or the 10x here in order to increase the number of factories per square. Who's attacking? You're attacking. Why are you attacking? Longest rebels rise in Kentucky. Huey Long has held strong support in the heartland, with states like Kentucky and Indiana only barely swinging elsewhere in the 1936 election. Now longest supporters have risen up in Kentucky and the surrounding region, taking up arms, gained through the underground, or band together to form a new front in the Civil War. Well, that's not very useful, is it?
Ready.
Alright, we'll send the motorized to go and contain them. Speaking of which, I don't have any more special units, do I? Yeah, I do.
Orders.
Aha! And you're the 24th unit. Excellent. So now all of these armies, with the exception of the motorized, are full. That's a lot of experience to be gaining. I'm not used to having such big armies. Over the past week, Syndicate government forces have been busy in Iowa arresting those we feel would be a hindrance to our control and helping our local supporters spreading the good word about syndicalism. Ah, and now you guys have
Ready
appeared.
to move.
New army, under you, to the left of that guy. With a new general. Milton? No, you can have Law.
Call it.
Milton should come in instead of one of the other newbies.
Ready to move.
None of
Attention.
you are really newbies anymore, though.
Attention.
I think you're still the newest. Wait, you have a man short.
Ready.
Right, that was probably the one you lost.
Listen up. Ready to move.
These Kentucky units are going to be very annoying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, you're attacking me? Okay. Fine by me. Your funeral.
Let them have it.
Kingdom of Ukraine took 6 states. Socialist Republic of Ukraine was annexed. Too bad. Bye! Hope you had fun. Flanders Wallonia have collapsed. Flemish Walloon government has gone into exile and the main forces have capitulated to the Comune of France, who is now in control of the home area. Even with the Dutch bolstering you. Germany's going to lose. It's going to be like 1940 and the Third International is going to be in charge of everything. Peace deal has been signed between the Pacific States of America and the American Union State. A deal has been done with the devil. Deal with the devil. With their forces hard pressed by the combined syndicates of America, representatives from both the Pacific States of America and the American Union State agreed to a temporary truce lest syndicates roll over them both and win the American Civil War. Whether their agreement comes too late or it can even last more than a few months before both sides turn on each other remains to be seen. Makes no difference. They will both lose!
Listen up.
Probably. Especially if they keep spreading themselves this thinly. Standardized unit sizes. The Red Dragon. The 240mm howitzer, nicknamed the Red Dragon by our troops, is the latest in the heavy field guns in use by the army. Traditionally, we have failed to make use of much artillery, but now we are able to deploy heavy support wherever our troops need to enter battle against fortified positions. So all of the troops that were along this border are now going to be spreading out onto our borders proper. So that should mean some fairly major reshuffling.
Listen up. Ready,
You guys
sir.
received your tanks here. No, you haven't. Not really. I'm going to say that these are more important than these. Should be fairly obvious anyway. What country am I from? I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in England. We're about to finish off air experience. When do we get the next doctrine? 10 days. Can hold 10 days. And then after the 10 days, I'll probably invest in upgrading the close air support. Yeah, I think the close air support. So how is our Air Force doing in terms of numbers? Attack bombers are low, but they're the only aircraft we're not producing. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, the light tank efficiency is still really low. Needs to ramp up again. Five more days. Alright guys, come on.
Listen up.
Shouldn't take you this long to assemble an attack.
Attention. Ready.
More factories. More guns.
All in. Keep on attacking. All in.
It's only this unit that may lose, and I think that's primarily because they're trying to cross a river. There it is, direct ground support. Let's go and work on the next doctrine, which is either air superiority, mission efficiency, or ace generation. I find aces to be not great, so I'm going to go with the air superiority. And then let's go and spend some points upgrading the close air support. Now these guys, I just want mostly attack and reliability. Although some range could also be nice. Wait until we hit the 405, it's not going to be very long.
Move out.
If we take Louisville, then they're not going to get any replenishment. Sorry, no supply.
Ready, sir.
Oh no, they had Frankfurt. Emphasis on had. Legionary Italy decided to commit suicide, also known as declaring war on Austria. Although that might keep Austria out of the war unless Austria decides to join Germany as part of the war.
Move out. Yes, sir. Listen up. Orders.
Aha, we took the airbase. Good. So, we don't really need these aeroplanes here anymore. Though there are 600 of you. So the medium bombers we're going to leave where you are. You guys will move forwards and then have you supplying the deep south. And these I'm going to have actually active in Appalachia for the moment.